Well, 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 what a surprise. What a surprise. Sebastian went live. Oh, they took away my phone. Well, I don't know. How was he doing that show if they took away his phone? That's like the first question I'd have. That's the first question. If his lips are moving, if his lips are moving. Hold on a second. My sweetie's coming in. I gotta greet her. No, it wasn't her yet. Or was it? Oh. Anyway, Sebastian went live again. Oh God, he's as frustrated as ever. Supposedly, he fired his lawyer. Well, if that was truly the way that the lawyer was representing him, I'm pretty damn sure it had to do with quite possibly the lawyer saying, enough is enough is enough. I got a client that, you know, doesn't want to listen to me, and, was it expected? I guess, you know. The truth is, he hasn't been on for a while, other than his comments. Oh, and he's still saying he's not guilty as Sin Channel. I don't know, whatever. Evening, Anthony. Anthony, yeah. Sebastian went live tonight. And now, I haven't heard him do a live show for a long time, and you would normally think that I'm going to listen to that whole goddamn thing, but it's like this, as he likes to say. If you missed one of his shows, just go back to some former recording you have of him. It was just the same nonsense. Same nonsense. Why am I here? I don't belong to be here. I called you a bad name. What do you have against me that you hate me so much? Called me a pedophile again. That's why he's in there. You know when I say he don't learn? There's my famous 13 number here. There's my famous 13. Here it is, famous 13 number here. Yeah, and he had to come on again, but he claims they only let him have his phone when he has to order food. Well, what was he talking on? Was he holding up a banana and talking into a banana? No, he's using his cell phone. Although maybe he went so crazy, he will talk into a banana. Banana. Oh, that means Brevis must have visited him. Okay. Funny than hell. Same shit, man. Same rhetoric. If you didn't see his show, I don't know if I know, it might be still on. He's going on the Traveler again, like several numbers up, you know. But he claims he's not guilty of sin. Well, we know he's guilty of sin, but he claims that the show named Guilty Sin. Some people said it's Popeye, but I don't think so. I don't think so. He's on the phone all the time. That's how he entertains himself, besides playing games, and you know. But yeah, I knew it was a matter of time before he'd be doing another. He'd be doing another live stream. You can only hold off so long, on there, and certainly in his situation. So he claims that he fired his lawyer. Yeah, that's like somebody's going to refuse a branch when you're sinking in quicksand. You're going to refuse that branch, right? But then again, well, the attorney's not at fault. He's trying to offer his services, and he had a client that didn't want to listen to him. So what's an attorney supposed to do? Now, I'm still not buying the story that he doesn't have an attorney. Because I don't buy anything he says, and don't anybody else. I'm sure the attorney's lurking out there somewhere on his case, but I just don't think, well, I already know that the attorney's not cooperating, or he would have sent in a particular motion, which my lawyers claim he has not even done that. And he had all this time to do it, so there's definitely something going on between him and the lawyer. There's no doubt about that. None. But I figured give him a little time. The boy will be back on, and again he was on there insulting me again. Oh, like what's new about that? Yeah, shouldn't be a case against him, and he's going to get married. Well, I did a response and said I'd attend a wedding, but I left my tuxedo T-shirt in Hawaii. I don't think I'll ever see it again. Oh boy. No, his name of a movie, Late Night with the Devil. Maybe that should be the title of his show. Comes on late at night, so he had 6 people watching him. It went all the way up to 10 at one point, and then it went back down to 6. Now it'd be inclusive of me and inclusive of himself. That's all he had. I don't know, maybe people weren't aware that he's back on or whatever. He'll get a number of people out of curiosity watching him, but they all wind up tuning out. The same thing as a Popeye show. I mean, it's like Popeye replays the same shit over and over again, and people are just kind of worn out on that. So if you miss one of Barry's shows, just refer to a past show because you're not missing anything. Same words, same insults. Yeah, you're not missing a thing. Superman. It has to be driving him crazy. He can't do live streams every day. Well, he'll do it when the guards are arresting or something like that. But yeah, I mean, word was out with immigration, that's for sure. And they probably gave the guards some shit too. And maybe he got some shit too from the guards. Well, the New Year's Eve fiasco. Boy, that was something else. That really fucked him over. And you say, oh, don't worry, my girlfriend's going to get you deported. Well, what if she don't? What if she don't? Can you answer that question? What if she don't? What if she can't? That's a good question. Something to think about. Sebastian. I actually like that name. Sebastian Bach, musician. He's no Sebastian Bach, that's for sure. But I figured he'd be back on. God, it's warm in here. It gets too cold when I put this goddamn air conditioner on. Then I'll shut it off, and then all it takes is 15 minutes, and I'm like, okay, ready to put it on again. I know somebody that just keeps their air conditioner on 24 hours a day. Actually saves electricity by doing that, because when you keep on turning it on and off, you're getting a surge of electricity. It runs your bill up. Just like my damn pump outside, which is kind of funky. I have to shut the pump off, the super pump, the big pump. Otherwise, it runs every like 30 seconds on and off, and that's going to burn the motor out. It's going to raise my electric bill. Yeah, always something. See, got that magic number 13 up here, man. It went up to 15, but it always settles at 13. Hold on a minute, folks. Okay, I'm back. Superman says, hey, Barry, if you're reading this, you must know that you really messed up. You should have stopped many years ago. You're paying the price now, buddy. He sure is. He sure is. And he's still asking the same question, you know, why does he deserve to go to jail, to go to court? But now he's saying that he fired his lawyer, which, highly doubtful it worked that way. You know better, I know better. Hold on one second. Okay, where were we? Nah, I'm not gonna do a long thing tonight. I'm gonna watch some TV. But I can't believe I watched the Terminator 4 Dark something or whatever. God, Linda Hamilton. I didn't know she was that rich. She's worth like 80 million or something. She got old real fast. She was kind of on the cutesy side when she was young, but yeah, 15 years celibate. She was married a couple of times. In fact, the director or something, I think she had married and had a kid with. But she's all set up, lots of money. Guess she was kind of sort of on the cutesy side when she was young, but age kind of really took over her pretty bad. Anyway, anyway, anyhow, does that sound familiar? Yeah, I didn't even finish. Honestly, I didn't even finish the show. First of all, the first quarter of it was there's nobody there. Maybe one person showed up. Maybe 20 minutes later, a couple of people showed up, and he got to about 10 people. Then it went down to 6 again. That would be inclusive of me and him. So he didn't really have that many viewers on there. I know you're on there, Joe Beans. I heard him saying something to you, greeting you or whatever. Well, the show is always boring. Come on, guys. What is he going to talk about other than me? It's okay that he's venting, he's got to vent. He's got to do something. Besides playing games on his phone, which he claims, he doesn't have use of his phone. Well, how did he do the show? How is he playing games as he's also talking on YouTube? He's got to have at least 2 devices. He's got to have. Remember, if his lips are moving, the rest of the sentence on that. So his lawyer situation, look, don't buy anything he says. He's the kind of store that, if he was a store, if he was selling something, nobody would be buying. That's what happens when you build up a reputation for not being honest. Yeah, he had the other account. He claims that he's not guilty of sin when we all know that's him. He thinks people are really stupid as he is. I mean, he's on his phone right now. He's on Messenger. He's on there all day and all night. Well, I guess you have to do something, in all fairness. He's not supposed to be using his phone for shit like that. He's not in a recreation center. He's in a detention center. But I do understand about the use of the phone if it's for good purposes, but he's not even supposed to have it. Yeah, I know he said that. I know. He said the guy's lying. Come on, Superman. We all know that. The guy don't know how to tell the truth. He's a chronic liar, man. He kind of got himself into that. How many years ago? Probably all his life. He had to lie to try to get out of situations. Well, he's trying to legally hide behind it by calling it a different name, so he figures he can say anything he wants. He went right back to calling me a pedo again. He went right back to it. And I think I made a comment, and no, come on, more words. Please, more. I'm all for it. It's really great when you don't have to really do much. And a guy is basically, as I always say, burying himself, And I don't have to do much. He's just doing it to himself. But he's not my favorite topic. I just thought I'd bring it up. because he did do a live. I don't know if he's still on. I don't think so, but he sure didn't have many viewers. And when he had 3 viewers, he said, "Oh, cool beans, cool beans. I got three viewers," he said. Superman says, "Can I ask, and is that when you're supposed to provide evidence on?" It's in March. I don't have a day. I know it's in March. I just don't have a day. I don't know what the day is. My attorney will inform me. I know it's March. It was discussed at the end of this last session. The judge said, as far as the calendar open, it's going to be in March. And I really don't know what day it is. It's not hard to find out for me, but, I'm not concerned about it at the moment. So, yeah, I would imagine that I would be testifying on this one. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward. I don't like court, but I'm certainly looking forward to testifying. As I've been waiting for. Oh, there's more to come. There's a lot of shit going on you don't know about, and he don't know about, but he'll find out. It's not my obligation to talk about it on here. Don't inform your enemy of anything. He tried to be my friend, he said once. He never wanted to be my friend. No, he just wanted notoriety to say that I came over, like Brevis does, uninvited, with a Gigante. Gigante blames himself. "God, I think I started this all," Gigante said himself. He might have. No, he came over uninvited. It's more of something that Brevis would do. Saying, "Oh, I was just, trying to be friends with the guy." Yeah. When did you figure out I wanted nothing to do with a friendship with you? How long did it take you to figure that out? Well, I'm glad that you're getting justice for yourself and Gilda. Well, we will. Don't worry about it. One way or the other. And he keeps on saying you're going to get deported, you're going to get deported. Well, I don't know that. How would he? And what if I don't? What if I don't? What then, Barry? What then? Oh, believe me, there's ramifications from all that. There will be. You'll hear about it. Maybe. You'll hear about it. It's true you gave him 2,000 pesos in a car? No. I love the way people exaggerate shit. Oh my God. No, when he first came over, I even felt sorry for the creep. No, I gave him 300 pesos. Then another time he came over, and he was at this resort thing with this girlfriend that he was just screwing over. Poor girl, took advantage of her. She was really in a low state of esteem, and anyway, I won't even go into that. I had bought him a pack of cigarettes that he wanted because I had my driver. I said, "Could you go get me a pack?" "Oh, get me one too, I'll pay you back." Well, driver came back, we got the cigarettes. He didn't want to even mention about paying me back on that. So we ordered some pizza. He didn't help to pay for that. Had to share with him and this present girlfriend he had. And a girlfriend even got a mango shake or something. He never paid me shit. Never paid me shit. No, never gave him. Oh, I gave him one time, I think $20 to go for his teeth. We're talking years ago on this one. And he never got his teeth or something. I don't know what, He used it for booze. I mean, what do you think he was going to use it for? He never gave him a carton of cigarettes. What are you out of your mind? I gave him one pack. I love the way people exaggerate things on here. Like I'm not a college graduate. That's one of the better ones. I guess must be a good forgery artist. I have to tell that to the school. Did I graduate here or did I not graduate here? Well, I'm not going to get into that. It's just pointless. Absolutely pointless. Just pointless. But anyway, I couldn't even listen anymore. Honestly, it was like, like I didn't miss anything at all. It was like you were hearing one of his old broadcasts, word for word. Everything was expected that he said. Everything was repeated that he said. It's like, if you missed a show, not to worry about it because go back to one of his old shows and there you go. I mean, you wouldn't have missed anything, anything at all. Same shit. He's like a one-track mind. But like I said, every now and again, people gotta, they gotta vent. They gotta vent. It's good for you to vent. It's not good to hold stuff in. So, let the boy vent, and what else could he do? Seriously, I mean, seriously, what else can he do? I know I'd be wanting to vent myself if I was in this situation. I know it's not a great situation for the boy, but you know, he kind of put himself in that situation. So, yeah. Gotta take my magnesium here. I mean, what's there to feel sorry for him about when you really think about it? When all is said and done, is there a reason to feel sorry for him? I don't think so. I just don't think so. Well, I know so. I don't think so. I know so. He has to pay the price of his crime. That's it. There's nothing more to say about that. He has to do what he has to do. And I don't make the decisions of the court. I don't make those decisions at all. I have nothing to do with those decisions of the court. And as far as him just going on and on and on with the same old shit all the time, I just sit back. I let him talk, and I might say a few things here and there. But, yeah, I just let him do his thing. That's all. It just gets him into more and more trouble, and that's okay with me. Because basically I'm not doing anything. I just kind of let him do it. That works for me. I'll get the justice I need on him. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. I'm reasonably sure that, all in all, that, the judge knows what he's dealing with, You got to think about it this way, too. This man comes into the courtroom, and he comes into the courtroom as a detainee. That's a bad start. The judge already knows he's a 7-year immigration stayer. Well, that don't put him in a good status. It simply tells the judge that this guy's a troublemaker. So he got in trouble for 7 years of immigration overstay. And now, he's in the judge's courtroom, for 5 counts of cybercrime. So, it would go to say, any person with any intellect at all, it would go to say that the judge is probably not looking at his situation real well as far as, giving amnesty or anything to this guy. I mean, I just, I don't know about you, but I just don't see that ever happening. I just don't. I really don't. So you want to put somebody away for life, he said, because he called you a name. Look, I'm not going to go into this shit again. He knows what he said, and he continues to do it. So would you have mercy on that guy? Think about it. Would you have mercy on that piece of shit? Especially when he's just continued to do so and he's complaining about it? Mercy? For what? Someone like him don't deserve any mercy. And I'm not going to give him any. I mean, a guy would love to see me dead or in jail or deported. I mean, oh yeah, I'm going to stand behind him. Right, right. I'm going to say, yeah, okay, I'll try to go easy on you in court. Not going to happen. Just ain't going to happen. Not from me. No, sir. Okay, do you guys have anything else to say, or are you just kind of practicing a little voyeurism, in a sense? It's getting almost as boring as Barry's last show. Speaking of such, I got a little bit, not harsh words, but a little bit of a disciplinary speech from my attorney. Well, one of them anyway. Yeah. What's that, Anthony? There could be no forgiveness without contrition. Yeah. Barry doesn't know how to spell his own name. He thinks his name is Sebastian. But I like the title of his other show, Guilty as Sin, because he is guilty as sin. What a perfect handle, don't you think? Good to hear your voice, Barry. Good to hear your voice. Good to hear your insults. I'm loving every minute of it. You know that. And you're not hurting my feelings. I'm sorry. You're trying to, but you're not hurting my feelings. Just tell that to the judge. Your Honor, I don't know what's wrong with this guy. What? I hurt his feelings, Your Honor? By calling him a pedophile, a child molester, and a groomer? What's wrong with that, Your Honor? Yes, very good observation. Very good. I told you, man, the dude has at least 3 channels minimum. Now, other sock accounts, I don't know how many. But he sure has the time to create these accounts, if you think about it. Who keeps on saying he's going on his 21st month? No, he's not. Excuse me. He's going on his 22nd minimum. I thought it was the 23rd, to be honest with you. But no, he's going on his minimum, his 22nd month. Yeah, a very good observation, Luminar. Yeah, I thought so too. See, he thinks he can get away with all this shit because he changes his name on there, you know. But people are not that stupid. He's the one that swallowed the stupid pills. Do the math. April 27th will be 24 months. So you're thinking, wait now. I guess I'm not keeping track of time. I guess I don't need to because I'm not in a cell, but isn't he going on 22 months right now on the 27th of this month? Really? That's all it is? 21 months as of the 27th of this month? I really thought it was 22 months minimum. Oh, that's long enough. I mean, what the fuck? Okay. I'll take your word. Guess I'm just not doing the math, I guess. I haven't been keeping track of it, to be honest with you. Not really. I just know he's been in there a long time. By his own doing, of course, you know. Not blame it on me. Blame it on his mother for giving birth to him. Should have been a fucking abortion, as far as I'm concerned. Saved the world a lot of trouble, I think. All right, so it'll be 21 months. I swear, again, I just thought it was 22 months of the 27th of this month. But, it's all the same to me. It's pretty close. So you could probably expect him to be doing more shows again, because once he gets on, it's hard to get off, and always going to respond to something I say or whatever. But I think, yeah, I think his attorney got on his ass so many times, and I think it caused some huge problems between him and his attorney. As far as him saying that he fired his attorney, well, remember the opposite. Think the opposite of what he says, and it's usually the opposite of what he says. Because we heard the attorney in court on the screen, and he basically said that he had a very non-compliant client, non-compliant client. The judge extended his stay by denying his guilty plea. It's possible he hasn't paid the attorney. I'm sure all of that above. As far as the judge extending his stay by denying his guilty plea, well, the judge didn't deny his guilty plea, for one, okay? What's supposed to happen from that point is, try to make this a little clear, is that his lawyer is supposed to file a motion, which he hasn't done. He had a long time to do this, for plea bargaining, and his lawyer hasn't done that. So first he has to file a motion. Even if he did it today, how long would that take for the judge to respond to that? How many more cases before, the judge will, the judge either going to grant him or not. See, my attorney doesn't have to agree. The beauty of this is my attorney doesn't have to agree to any kind of bargain, any kind of plea that his attorney would make, or Barry himself would make. They don't have to agree. They didn't agree to his. They did not agree, by the way, to his guilty plea. See, we have to accept, and of course the judge actually, never mind us. See, we have something to say about that, but the judge is the man that has to say on his guilty plea. He will either, not take his guilty plea or just take it, but he already said it in court that he pleaded guilty. So, the judge heard that. The minutes were written down by the court secretary, and that's all on record that he came on camera in court and pleaded guilty. So the judge already knows. He probably don't even remember about it. You got to understand, he goes through so many cases. That's why you got court clerks and all that to do all this shit. So when a case comes up, they'll review it a little bit, before he starts session, to kind of catch up on stuff, or the resident fiscal that's there all the time. He puts the papers, gives it to the judge, and the judge does a catch up on it. It's something in a line of that anyway. There's so many cases, he's not going to remember the details of every single thing, but it's on record that he pleaded guilty to the crime. So that's kind of a done deal in a way. Yeah. Maybe he hasn't paid his attorney. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. He doesn't pay anybody, remember? He has a history of that. What have I done wrong to people? What have I done wrong to people, he says. Well, where do I start? That's a better question. Where do I start on that? If I had to actually answer that. Anyway, tomorrow is a new day. Now, you may not be hearing a show from me tomorrow. So don't expect a morning show tomorrow. You want to lay your bets on it. But I knew he was going to come on sooner or later. Because he's just, someone like him, he just can't not come on. And spew his hateful words, and he needs to vent. And the only people he could vent to, and they're probably so sick and tired of hearing it, the guards. Holy cow. Imagine his jailmate. Apparently, I heard the voice. I think the Indian guy is still there. I thought I heard the Indian guy's voice in the background. Imagine it's 21 months that these guards got to deal with this guy and hear him yelling in his phone, profanities, and they apparently allow him to do so. I mean, he was using his phone the whole time, so what does that tell you? I don't know. Maybe they worked out a deal. Who knows? Who knows? I can't say that for sure, but it's always possible that they tolerate him for a reason. But I couldn't tell you that for sure. I could speculate, but who knows? Who knows? Because the truth is, his phone should have been taken away from him a long time ago. And especially after the New Year's Eve event. What's with that? Well, that's maybe part of the reason why he's not doing regular shows. He's just sneaky. Look. He's gotten to the point where he knows he's got so much against him. And in his mind, he figures, what do I got to lose? Let me get on there and vent out. Call me a pedo again, every other name. He figures, what do I got to lose? I'm going to go for broke. And that's exactly what he's doing. Well, it's exactly what he's been doing. He knows this case is not going well for him, and it's not going to go well for him. I know the guy's not the brightest light bulb in the room, but he knows, pleaded guilty in front of the judge. I mean, so he knows where this is going. It's just what he don't know is, what the judge is going to say at the end of the trial, whatever that might be, and your guess is as good as mine. It's a bong. I don't know what the troll is doing on my show here, but okay, there we go. So, psychologically, I think I'm pretty sure of this. When you reach that point of no return, you got this kind of mindset where I got nothing to lose at this point. I know I'm fucked up. I'm going to be fucked up even more when the judge passes a sentence on him. He knows he's more likely going to be facing some time. And then he says, I'm not going to pay you. I'm not going to pay you anything. Well, it's like this. If the judge had agreed that he should be paying me attorney fees or whatever, and he says he's not going to pay, well, he's got money in the bank from his Social Security, but so he doesn't want to pay. Let's just figure that, right? Well, the way it works, and the dum-dum doesn't understand it, is that if you don't pay, they just keep you in jail, locked up somewhere, locked up abroad. They keep you locked up until you do pay. So, I've attacked that train of thought of his big time here. He don't have to pay me a dime. Just if he doesn't, like I said, it was never about the money. But I got to a point and said, well, fuck this shit. He's still doing the same shit over and over again. Why should I show any more mercy on him? Fuck yeah, we'll try to go for some attorney's fees. Why the hell not? I got the right to do that, and I'll do it. So what if he doesn't want to dish out the money for that? That's okay too. Because what he doesn't understand is that he's just going to have to remain locked up until he can find a way to pay it. It doesn't take brain science. Superman says, yes, for some reason, Barry thinks he can make bail. Well, they're not allowing him bail. I think that's the problem. Sid says he deserves to be in real prison. I know, Sid, he does. Superman says he thinks once he makes bail, he's leaving the country. Your case will not hold him there. Well, he also thinks if he gets married, that everything's going to go his way. And how many people out there actually believe he's going to get married on February 8th? He gave a date. He gave a date. I told you how I felt about that, how the law looks at this. I'm still sticking to that, unless he found a fixer of some sort, something illegal. But from my standpoint of view and for what I read, no, he's got to have a current visa and everything. NBI clearances, paperwork. He has to sign papers. He has to also show proof that the country of origin, he has no wants or warrants or bench warrants or anything against him. And he can't do that. There's no way he's getting married. He can't. Well, that's what I've been saying. I even asked my lawyer, and they said, well, they do allow marriages, people who are incarcerated. But what he said was they have to meet all the prerequisites. And somehow I just don't think that he can meet all the prerequisites. Everything from an MBI clearance, being current on his visa, passport, all that stuff. And all the other paperwork that goes along with it, too. Plus, what was the other thing? You have to attend, you have to attend marriage counseling in this country. You think he went and got marriage counseling? That's a prerequisite. Anthony says, any wedding will not be a legal one, but merely a ceremonial wedding. Yeah. He can have a ceremonial wedding and try to pass it off like he's really getting married. If he's actually doing anything at all, I'm glad you brought that up, because you made a point. Sure, you could have a ceremony. Will you take this man to be your wedding? It's just a ceremonial wedding. It don't mean they're getting married. But good point there. Good point, Anthony. Very good point. Let's just do that for show, if anything else. To make people believe that he's got legally married. But he can't. I just don't see how. And I'll still say it. I'll continue to say it. All right, guys. I got to wind down for the rest of the night. I do appreciate you showing up. I had 27 viewers. I think he had at best 10 on his. Half of his show, he had 6 viewers. That might include myself and his own self. I don't know, maybe they just weren't aware of his channel he was on. I don't really know, but I think part of it is that people just don't want to have to listen to him rehashing some old hash again and the same fucking shit over and over again. Yeah, ceremonial wedding. Sure. You can have a ceremonial wedding. You absolutely can. Anytime you want. Don't need no planning. Get your woman together and have some guy come over and say, or whatever. But he can't legally marry him. Call it what you want, but it'll be a ceremonial wedding. So if he did put something on, it's not real. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it at all. Now, do I give a shit who he marries? Or anybody that wants to marry his sorry ass? I really don't give a shit. Except that the only reason he wants to get married, because he feels it's going to extend his stay in the Philippines, that he has some legal boundaries, legal stuff that will keep him in the Philippines rather than deporting him. But he's wrong on that. He's very wrong. But then again, it's like this. Come on, man. Don't use your woman as a tool like that. How many... it's not like I'm supposed to feel sorry for this woman, which I don't, absolutely don't. But, Jesus Christ, man, she's like 40 years old now. Well, she's not old, but for a Filipina, that's old to find a man, And she, he's been basically holding her life up for the past nearly, 3 years. And how fair is that to her? But then again, it's, she's still there for him. And there's got to be a reason. I know we're all scratching our heads. But, she has her own reason and rhyme. Maybe she's afraid of him. Maybe she's afraid to leave him. Battered wife syndrome, that's pretty common. And don't have to be married to be a battered wife. That's just the expression, the terminology that they use for a woman who's under control of a man and he doesn't treat her very well and puts fear in her heart. It's called battered women syndrome. Yeah. Anthony says, look up the name, John Wojciech. He did a ceremonial wedding. He's the guy who the film Dog Day Afternoon was based on. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, sure, you could do a ceremonial wedding. And if that's anything, that's all he could really do. Because there are certain legalities that he cannot get over the fence with. He just can't change the fact that his visa is completely worthless. You've got to be able to present a current visa. There are rules. Sure, you get married in jail any day you want. People do it all the time. Why? I don't know. It's like a losing proposition, but you can get married in jail. You certainly can. But in his case, no, I don't see how that's possible. I just don't. It really is amazing. Before I leave here, how many years has it been that he's been doing shows, right? And I can't. I mean, we're talking about a lot of shows, a lot being said, right? And I'm trying to think in my mind when he's ever said anything that was even a half truth, nevertheless being the truth. And it's really hard. I could think of 1,000 things where he lied, but I'm having a really hard time thinking back. And my memory of him is always very good, where he's ever told the truth about anything, any situation at all. Because it's really not coming to me. I don't think he's ever told the truth the whole time he's ever been on YouTube. And I don't think he's ever told the truth in his personal life outside of YouTube. I just don't see that happening. He talks about, you're not in touch with your daughter. And, well, you know what? His son wants nothing to do with him. Touche, whatever. Yeah, and all the child support he owes, too. So when he does get to America, it's like a double jeopardy situation. Because if there's any bench warrants out for him for child support, there's a few other things out there, they're going to catch him. And he wants to go to home so bad to America. But home to what? That's the question. Home to what? Yeah, he said he beat his ex-wife. That was true. Yeah, he said it. He lies about his cousin. Oh, yeah, he even has an uncle that's like 8 foot tall or some shit like that. You gotta admit, though, his stories are rather interesting, are they not? He doesn't realize what a fool he makes of himself every time he comes on. Come on, one moment of truth, one moment makes sense of something that comes out of your mouth. You see, look, when you're used to doing something over and over and over and over again, like say you're like a big time masturbator, right? And you're going to continue to be a big time masturbator until your dick falls off or something. It's the same thing with his lies. When you've been lying so much all your life, it becomes ingrained in your personality, who you are. Anthony says he finally admitted to overstaying. That ended up being true, but only after years of denial. Yeah, you're correct. Sid says 8 foot tall person would be in the news. Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. Oh, excuse me. Maybe he wasn't 8 foot tall, 7 foot tall, I think it was, right? Nevertheless, still. Oh, yeah. His family can't wait to see him. Quite the opposite. They said, don't come to this house. We ain't going to support you, sorry, monkey ass. Well, they're going to welcome him with open arms. Welcome home, son. slap him around a little bit, slap him around, knock some sense into the boy. And he needs a lot of sense knocked in. He really does. Physically, every way, in every fucking way. He needs it. It's the only way someone like him could even remotely learn anything. You've got to impress upon yourself to him. You've got to slap him around if you have to. You know, something, anything. It just doesn't sink in. He doesn't know how deep he is legally. He just doesn't understand it. This is not America. This is the dang Philippines. Their own laws. How they handle these cases and laws. They're not going to put up with his shit. He did admit that he was Sid says, he did admit he was a black sheep of the family. Yes, he did. I heard that myself. Well, why is that, Barry? Why were you the black sheep of the family? Did you borrow money from your family members and never paid them back either? Were you always getting in trouble and they just tired of bailing you out? I'm sure there's multiple reasons behind that. Anthony says, do you think anybody in his family was surprised when they found out that Barry was in jail in the Philippines? No, I don't think they were surprised at all. No. Honest answer to that, no, I don't. The guy's a troublemaker. He's obviously been all his life. You know the stories from when he first set foot in the Philippines. You know stories before he came to the Philippines. From the first girl he met, when he got off the plane that was planned to meet, she ran the Sorry Sorry store. And that didn't turn out exactly real well. But when he first got off the plane, he was a troublemaker. Okay, guys. I will not be doing a show tomorrow morning. I'm sorry to tell you. Look, I got a little bit of a backlashing from one of the attorneys, and said, just end it. Just stay offline. He said, good. Barry hasn't been doing those shows. He said, good. I said, well, he'll be on again. I said, he still comments, And of course, I do the same thing. I screenshot everything. Just, for good measure. But he's got a lot of shit coming up with him. He don't realize it. This is a serious case. It's not just a cyber libel itself. I mean, this is a deep cyber libel case. Where the man didn't learn his lesson. Bad enough he eluded the immigration for 7 years, not paying his fees, and ran away and had his girlfriend, harbor, aid, and abet him. That's bad enough alone right there. That's exactly what she did. That's what happened. That's the way they see it, and will see it. I got 300 subscribers. I used to have 13 at one time, 13,000. Not on this show. But... Well, guys, it's like this. Don't be too surprised if you don't hear me on for a bit. Yeah, I got a little bit of a, not like in a certain tone of voice or nothing, but let's just say it was highly suggested that I would just give this a break for a while, and let's handle the legal case. And I don't have much to say anyway, really. It's going to frustrate a lot of people out there that like to do copycat shows and stuff, but oh well. Make them cry. They may have to actually go out and get a life. Imagine that. Make that effort. 300. I haven't really looked at the numbers. It don't matter to me. I'm not monetized. I don't give a shit, really. No. Oh, by the way, hi, Barry. I know you're listening. What else are you going to do? 300 subscribers, huh? Well, those are earned subscribers, because I'm not paying for no subscribers. Because I don't give a shit about being monetized. I wouldn't pay. And I never did in the past either. Somebody in the past did did that to me once or twice, but no, I never bought any subscribers from anybody. Ricky used to be the one that recommended to me, why don't you, so easy to do, so easy to do. I guess that's what he did to get remonetized again or something in the past. But did you see a thing I put on Ricky? It was an old show of his. He's holding up a passport that's supposed to be Barry's. It has like a shitload of stamps in there. Well, it was obviously Licky's passport because, you know, Barry's probably only got one stamp in there for when he fucking came here. Say hi, Barry. Say hi, Barry. How's it going in there? And by the way, Barry, it's going to be getting really hot pretty soon. I can feel the change in the weather. We have periodical rain here, but things are going to get dry. The weather's going to get really hot in a few months. It kind of starts as early as March. Imagine being in that hot cell and all you got is a fan, and all the fan does is to blow the bugs around and blow the hot air on you. I don't know how he does it. I gotta give him credit, though. Hey, come on, I'll give credit when it's due. I gotta give him credit for that. But then again, he doesn't have any choice. And boy, when they give him time to go out in that little courtyard, whatever you want to call it, that must be something he looks forward to. Me, I'd find any fucking excuse. I gotta wash clothes. I gotta go out there to wash clothes just to get the fuck out of the cell. I'll be the best clothes washer you ever met. It doesn't have to be elaborate. He's got to wash his clothes now and then. And all he really needs is a little bit of detergent or dishwash liquid. You have a little 5-gallon, 2.5-gallon, or 5-gallon bucket. And you could rinse out your little tidies in there, if you could afford underwear or the shorts he wears every day. Yeah, it doesn't take much. You just hang them up. It doesn't have to be an elaborate process, He doesn't have to have his girlfriend come over and do it. She's got enough to take care of on her own. But, shit, I used to do that when I was in a hurry. Not here, but I used to live in Hawaii. If I didn't have a lot of laundry, well, let's say I was kind of short on shorts. Yeah, I'd have to run a whole wash machine of water just for a pair of shorts or two. I just take them, I throw them in a bucket, put some detergent in there, agitate them around a bit, then give it a good rinsing and I'd hang it up. It wasn't a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. I can't imagine that he hasn't broken out in some kind of his sweat glands between his legs and getting some really red fungus infections. He's had to. In 21 months, he's had to. I mean, I can't see how he hasn't. I mean, I don't think the guy bathes very often. I would venture to say. And the one place in the tropics, I know because it happens to me occasionally. In the tropics, between your legs, where your inner thighs meet your groin area, that's kind of like a semi-enclosed area. And you keep in all the warmth and the moisture, and of course darkness. Those are the three elements that create bacteria. Tight underwear can do that too if it crotches up. And I'm not going to believe that in 21 months that he didn't have, crotch rot or something going on there. He had to. Or butt rot. He had to. I won't believe it that he didn't. Of course, he's not going to tell you that. Look at those guys that are in the trenches that were in Vietnam and other wars. They had trench foot, and those guys had, they had between their legs, they had rashes that was so bad, that the only way it helped them is just to walk, to stay in those trenches. It was killing them. Okay, last comment, Anthony. He's in that huge jail cell all by himself. Lots of air circulation. Now imagine being in Bickerton, which has a capacity of 140 inmates when it was built, and now holds 5 times that number. I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that. Oh yeah, they could just stuff him in a cell with a number of people. You could just smell their sweat. If they got like nits or bugs or lice, he's going to catch it. And it's good that he's bald because that will help. He'll get in his eyebrows, pubic hair, stuff like that. Asshole, whatever. Did I just call him an asshole? No, I just talked about an asshole. Yeah, it's packed in there. It certainly is. I've seen enough documentaries on TV to know that. And holy cow. No, it isn't a place you want to be. I would want to be there for sure. And nobody wants to be there. But, you know, sometimes when you think you're above the law like he does, he's going to see his time. It's going to come yet. Let's just say he's got lucky that he hasn't been there already. His luck is going to run out, though. Oh, Billy Bid, yeah. Yeah, I've seen several of the prisons, actually, the Philippines on there. Yeah. There's actually one right, I don't know what they call it, but one is right, one in Cebu. There's one in Cebu City. I don't know if it's called the Cebu City Jail. I don't know what it is, but there is a prison, actually, of sorts in Cebu. So what do you think about this, Barry, huh? You think you got one up on me? Well, what if your girlfriend's case doesn't come to fruition? What are you going to do then? And by the way, immigration is so woke about this shit on YouTube. I have to use that word, the woke generation. They're so woke about it. They're used to getting complaints in on certain people all the time. They can't be more aware in the world than Barry Jordan's case. They also know my name. If anything ever came in on me other than that, they're going to know that it's all derived from YouTube and it's all bullshit. They're not even going to entertain it. Well, Brisket, sorry you came in late. I got to go. But no, there's not going to be any show tomorrow. Maybe not for a while. I know you don't believe me, but, time will tell, right? Yeah, because I'm kind of being urged because there's an active case going on, and I've been going against this rule for a long time. A long time, despite my attorney's suggestions. Not only my attorney, but my partner. But, yeah. Maybe it's time to finally take that advice because we're kind of we're in a midpoint here in a trial situation, kind of, and we got to let things take its course. And it's also been very intrusive on my personal time here. People think I sit in a chair all day and I don't go anywhere. That's far from the truth. We do things out here in town, but I can't say they're anything exciting. I don't know what you might deem to be exciting here, but we do get out of the house. We actually get out of the house. We actually do that. And God, you believe Dawn is still pushing, or not Popeye is? I don't have a college degree. Oh, yikes. Really? I made everything up. It's kind of like a Barry thing. I never called him a pedo. That admits everybody in there. They called me a pedo. Admitted in court he was guilty. Saw the evidence. He couldn't get away with it anymore. So now he just freely calls me a pedo and other expletives. And that's okay. That's okay with me. Because look where he is and why he's there. Same reason. With that being said, I'll catch you guys down the line somewhere, okay? Yeah, but actually, I'm even changing a little bit of my diet. I'm trying to go back to regularly use my treadmill and the weights. I got a lot of catch up to do on that. And doing a show in the morning, and sometimes my shows can go 2 hours, has been really interfering with the whole process. In all honesty, it really has. And that's a reason itself, too, right there. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just been too much, really. I mean, what more could I say? I really shouldn't give a shit about giving people any kind of health advice or something like that. You know, people got to do that on their own accord. I just come on as a courtesy. That's all it is, and talk about that stuff. But like I said, there's another reason too, because it kind of reinforces me to continue doing what I'm doing. So that's why I do that in part. Just a little bit of self-reinforcement. But at the same time, I always hope that maybe somebody will take a little bit of advice or something on there and it could help them out. It don't matter. They could be a troll. They could be anybody. It don't matter. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who have actually taken some of my advice. I'm certain of it. They're not going to admit it. They won't admit it, but that's the way it is. Gotta turn this on. Get the doors shut. Fan on medium. I ain't going 'cause I'm dead. Your grandma and my grandma. Anthony says, just do you. Do your YouTube channel how you see fit. Screw the rest. Well, I always do. I always do how I see fit. You think them calling me names on a YouTube channel, copycat channel, is you know, I'm going to sit there and pull out my hair because they said a bad thing about me. They've been saying bad things about me for 10 fucking years. Why is it any different now? Why? Why would it be any different? Why? It's not, you know. I don't give a fuck what they say. They can believe what they want. The only thing I really shouldn't do is have to prove myself to anybody. I don't have a college degree. I guess I was getting up every morning to go to college for how many years? And there were 3 colleges. But we're not getting into that again. Jesus Christ, really. It all comes down to one thing. Jealousy. I probably have accomplished a hell of a lot of things than the average Joe on YouTube. I'm sure I have. I'm actually pretty sure I have. Auntie says, I don't have people like you hanging on to every word I say. Yeah. I listen to what you have to say, actually. I don't know who you are. You could be a troll just trying to be nice on my show, but you got to understand one thing and take it personally on the other way. I always doubt who I'm talking to. There's a lot of people historically who come on my show and act like they're real friendly with me, but actually they're trolls going to a sock account name. Now, I can't prove that you are, but you've never caused any problems on my show, and that's why I let you make comments on here. That's how I work it. I know I have a fan club. Andy says, I don't have people like you researching everything I've ever done like you do. Well, it's for self-knowledge. And I don't need to have a GPA 4.0 or whatever for self-knowledge. I mean, it's ridiculous. I've learned a hell of a lot. I've been doing it for 45 years. I had to pick up something that I could utilize to myself. I'm still alive, right? Do you hear me choking? Do you hear me coughing the phlegm out of my throat? You don't hear that on my show. And the only time you ever really heard that is when my allergies were really acting up and I got that post-nasal drip. That's the only time you ever heard me on that show. Like right now, I feel like clearing my throat. Let's do it. Okay, so I have a dry throat. In fact, I have to gargle with some salt water, actually. I don't know, I'm kind of staying away from those mouthwashes, you know. All this fluoride in there. It's actually toxic. And, you know, when you become a senior, you got to start thinking about things like this. I mean, if you have a reason to want to extend your life as much as you humanly can, in which sometimes you have no control over that, but I just always felt that, and I'll always say it. I'll say it again. If you want to have all bad habits, you could have all bad habits. If you want to incorporate some good things into your bad habits, it's better than not doing good things for yourself. So say if you smoke, so say if you drink, same shit. You know, it's better to do something than nothing. That's my idea. Of course, it's just better to quit whatever you're doing, period. But as you know, it's easier said than done. But I'm actually getting to the point where, in all consideration of my allergies, that it's coming to that point. I'm probably going to have to. Because my allergies are not going to go away. Now, let's face it, smoking and the environment itself is really not doing me real good. I wouldn't expect it to. So, there has to come a point when you just say, just like I did with Barry, I said enough is enough, right? Got his ass on trial. Comes a point where you got to say enough is enough. When you see you're running out of cigarettes, don't go and get another pack. There's things you can do. If you run out of booze, if you're a drinker, which most people on YouTube are all boozers, you know, you just don't buy that next bottle. You know, drink water instead or do something, you know. Keep your mouth occupied with something. Don't you want it how I get quiet when there's no one else? Anthony says to Brisket in Lottery, he says, guilty as sin channel on his community page. It's been deleted. Oh, so it's not his channel. He comes up and does it on his Travel America thing. He does another one with that. Oh, that was brilliant, Barry. That was just brilliant. We can't see through that. I think the people that listen to my show are reasonably intelligent people. That's what I think. That's my thought on that. I think they are. But you want to compare apples to oranges, you know. The guy, he got a fucking live brain cell in his fucking head, right? Ugh. I don't like to drink anything before I go to bed. I'm not getting up all night peeing and stuff like that. That's not what's happening. I do notice, though, I do urinate more during the day because I'm actually drinking more water, number one. And you want to add a number two to that. Anytime your prostate is probably a little enlarged, and I was checked out and all that. I don't have a what you call a large prostate. I love their definition of it. Do I have a large prostate? No, you have a normal prostate for a man your age. That's what they tell you. I said, what does that mean? For a man your age. Well, thank you for that. You know, it is what it is. Okay. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. There won't be a show tomorrow, and I'm not gonna be enticed to do one. I gotta give it a rest a little bit here, and just take care of business. I got a lot of shit going on, so I gotta get back into my routine again. But I find it extremely hard to be able to get anything done in the morning because I'm kind of a scheduled person. I'm a creature of habit, and I really can't accomplish anything if I'm doing shows in the morning and all that stuff, and I'm on there for a long time. You know, it doesn't work very well for me. That's the best I can tell you on that. Oh, fun, whatever, what you might call fun, but it's hardly the picture that people try to portray of me. Not even remote. Just not that way. I'm happy with what I do. I'm not complaining about it, so why should anybody else? They don't live my life, I live my life. Now, of course, if you had a life like Popeye or somebody, that's a pretty sad life. And even Don, I mean, holy cow, seriously? With all this so-called work projects he does, and he has a wife and everything, but he sure as hell, he's there, quicker than Quicksilver. When I do a show or Barry does a show or anything like that, he's right there. He's like right there. So what does that tell you right there? It says a lot, doesn't it? He's right there. He's probably listening to me right now. That's pretty sad. So these people are clean. I remember a Bugs Bunny thing. He says to, not Roadrunner, who was that? The Tasmanian Devil. While he's doing the Tasmanian Devil's nails. You monsters must lead such interesting lives. I don't know if you remember that Bugs Bunny cartoon. Well, they must lead some interesting lives. How you and I would define interesting might be two different definitions, but if they're spending that much time recording me and talking about me and blah, 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 well, that tells you a mouthful.